welcome to the deep dive. Ever wondered what really powers that massive flow of international business and knowledge exchange? The stuff happening all around the globe.
Yeah, it's huge.
Today, we're kind of unlocking a key piece of that puzzle. It's the world of MEC. It's meetings, incentives, conferences, and exhibitions.
MAC.
Right.
And it's a colossal industry, isn't it? Billions involved.
Absolutely billions, shaping everything, really.
Yeah.
Corporate strategies, scientific breakthroughs, even, the economies of entire countries.
And for this deep dive, our focus is, well, it's particularly interesting, Thailand. We've got this 2025 research paper that really digs into why Thailand specifically has become such a major player in the MEC world.
Exactly. Most people, when you say Thailand, they picture what? Stunning beaches, ancient temples.
Sure, the classic tourist image, beautiful country, rich culture.
But beneath that surface, there's this powerful engine driving business connections, sharing ideas.
Yeah.
It really makes you wonder, what's the secret sauce there? Why is Thailand such a magnet for these big international events?
Well, that's pretty much our mission today, isn't it? We want to go beyond the beautiful scenery and really understand why Thailand hasn't just dipped its toe in the MICE industry, but has actually excelled, become a leader in Southeast Asia.
Yeah, and what can we learn from that? What does it mean for maybe other places looking to build up this sector?
Exactly. What are the broader implications? So our guide here is this research paper, The Role and Impact of MICE, Meetings, Incentives, Conferences, and Exhibitions Industry in Thailand.
Okay, so C. Let's unpack that acronym a bit. It sounds simple enough, but I guess each letter represents a pretty distinct kind of event.
Absolutely. It breaks down nicely. MEC covers four main things. First up, M is meetings. Think smaller scale, more intimate gathering.
Like board meetings, workshops.
Exactly. Board meetings, figuring out strategy, team workshops, tackling specific projects, maybe focused training sessions. The goal is usually really targeted, solving a problem, developing a skill, aligning a smaller group.
Okay, so focused, results-driven. Got it. Then incentives. That always makes me think of fancy trips.
You're right on track. Incentives are all about reward and motivation. Picture these carefully planned trips, amazing experiences designed to reward, say, top-performing staff or maybe really valued clients.
So not just a holiday.
No, definitely not. They often involve unique access, luxury stays, really memorable activities, things that build loyalty and inspire people to keep performing well. The research paper actually gives examples of these in Thailand, mixing that cultural immersion with really high-end hospitality.
That makes sense. Powerful reward plus a unique cultural experience. Okay, next is C, conferences. That's where you get the big crowds sharing information, right?
Precisely. Conferences are the larger platforms. They bring together professionals, researchers, thought leaders, usually focused on a specific industry or academic field.
So lots of presentations, panels.
Yeah, the focus is knowledge exchange, presenting new findings, discussing the latest trends through keynotes, panels, workshops. It's about staying current and connecting with your peers.
Right. And the final piece, E, exhibitions or sometimes conventions. These are the really massive ones.
Yes, exhibitions and conventions are huge marketplaces. Whole industries come together to show off their latest products, services, innovations. Think vast halls, booths everywhere, demos, loads of networking.
Critical for business, I imagine, seeing what competitors are doing, generating leads.
Absolutely. Crucial for lead generation, building your brand, just getting a feel for the landscape. The paper even notes how these are getting more specialized in Thailand, catering to specific global niches.
So it's this really diverse range of events, different goals, all under the MCE banner. And this isn't just happening in one region, is it? It's a truly global thing.
Oh, undeniably. These MIC events pull in attendees from, everywhere, all corners of the globe, which is great for cross-cultural exchange, international collaboration.
But probably a logistical nightmare to organize.
It can be. The paper talks about the complexities navigating all the different visa rules, coordinating international flights, making sure you've got the right accommodation and food for a diverse global audience. It's a massive undertaking.
Yeah, you don't often think about the sheer scale of work behind a big international conference. And this MIC industry, it doesn't operate in isolation, does it? It must be really tied into other parts of the economy.
Totally. It's got this vital symbiotic relationship with tourism and hospitality. Think about it, all those event participants. They fill hotels, use conference venues, need transport, eat in restaurants.
Creates a sort of positive cycle.
Exactly. The research paper calls it a virtuous circle of economic growth. And the data suggests MEC tourists actually spend more, on average, than regular leisure tourists.
Ah, higher value visitors. That's a key point. Now, the research also mentions the MEC or world itself is changing. It's not just physical meetings anymore.
That's right. The rise of virtual events, hybrid events, that's become a really significant factor. Offers more access, can be more cost-effective for some people.
But the core purpose remains.
Yeah, the fundamental goal of MEC is still there. Spreading knowledge, building professional networks, fostering collaborations, these things can have really big, lasting impacts.
Okay, that gives us a really solid handle on what MIC actually is. So now, let's get to the heart of it. Why Thailand? Why has it become such a big player on this global stage? What's its edge?
Well, the research points to several really compelling advantages. First off, you've got Thailand's rich cultural heritage and that famous hospitality, the Thai smile.
That famous hospitality. It's more than just a slogan then.
Seems like it. The paper actually cites survey data from international event attendees, and they consistently rate the friendliness, the helpfulness of local staff incredibly high. That really adds to the overall positive experience.
That's a tangible business asset then. And location-wise, Thailand's pretty strategic, isn't it?
Absolutely, right in the heart of Southeast Asia. Makes it really accessible for international travelers from the region and further afield. Combine that with the natural beauty, the resources, it's just an inherently attractive place for event organizers.
But it's not just a nice backdrop, is it? There's serious business infrastructure too.
Definitely. The fact that so many multinational corporations have their regional headquarters or major operations in Thailand helps a lot. It provides a sort of built-in audience and makes it easier to connect with the global business community. The paper actually notes a link between foreign direct investment and MEC sector growth.
Ah, so organizers can tap into an existing professional network. And thinking about big international events, safety and security must be huge factors.
Paramount, yeah. Thailand has a strong reputation for being safe and stable. That gives event organizers crucial peace of mind, lets them focus on running the event smoothly. The paper mentions government initiatives specifically aimed at MAE attendee security.
It really paints a picture of a very attractive package overall. And apparently Thailand's MIC success isn't brand new.
No, not at all. Back in 2016, Thailand was actually the leader in hosting international events in Southeast Asia, even ahead of Singapore, which many people think of as a major hub.
Wow. Head of Singapore.
Yeah. Yep. And Bangkok especially has shown again and again it can host really memorable, successful international gatherings across all sorts of sectors.
That's quite an achievement. And this isn't just like hearsay, is it? The paper backs this up with data.
Oh, yes. The research refers to studies by international universities, industry analysts. They surveyed conference delegates, MICE professionals, and the findings consistently show high satisfaction levels with Thailand's facilities, services, the whole event experience.
What specifically do they praise?
The quality of Thailand's five-star international hotels comes up a lot. Renowned for exceptional service, great amenities, that's frequently cited as a key strength.
So top-notch infrastructure.
Yeah.
High service standards. And it sounds like Thailand isn't just resting on its laurels, it's still investing.
Not at all. They're actively investing in upgrading infrastructure, embracing new event tech, making sure they stay competitive for the long haul. The research shows the strong growth path for Thai MIC, really taking off in the second half of the 20th century and hitting record MIC tourist arrivals in 2016. It shows sustained appeal.
It's a story of consistent growth, then, and being proactive. Okay, let's dig a bit deeper into the specific factors that make Thailand such an MICE magnet. What are the key ingredients?
Well, number one has to be ease of travel, accessibility. Thailand's got well-developed international airports, pretty efficient public transport in the big cities, a good road network. It just makes it convenient for delegates to get there and get around.
Like Suvarnabhumi Airport in Bangkok.
Exactly. The paper specifically mentions its ongoing expansion to handle more international arrivals. Seamless travel is a huge plus for international attendees.
Definitely removes a major headache. What are the actual venues, the places where these events happen and where people stay?
That's another big one. The availability of modern professional conference centers with all the latest facilities. Thailand offers a really diverse range of these venues. Plus, a huge spectrum of hotels, different budgets, different styles.
And these are strategically located.
Yes. The research notes they're well distributed across the key MICE destinations within the country, so the practical side is well covered.
But like we said earlier, it's not purely functional, is it? The destination itself has to have that draw.
Precisely. The overall attractiveness, The stunning natural landscapes, the rich culture, the unique local traditions, that plays a huge role when people choose a MICE location. MICE tourists often want to blend their business with some leisure, some cultural immersion.
Combining work and exploration.
Yeah. The paper highlights how popular pre- and post-event tours are, showing off Thailand's cultural sites and natural beauty.
That blend seems really appealing, and Thailand manages to kind of mix its history with modern development quite well, doesn't it?
It really does. That harmonious blend of cultural heritage and modern infrastructure is a big plus. IC attendees can visit an ancient temple in the morning and be at a cutting-edge conference in the afternoon. It offers a really unique, enriching experience.
It's that distinct mix that sets it apart. Now, government often plays a big role in nurturing industries like this. What's the Thai government's stance on MSIE?
They're very active. The Thai government formulates specific MICE policies, offers incentives, things to attract event organizers and investors.
Like what kind of incentives?
Things like tax breaks, easier visa processes for ICE delegates, sometimes even direct financial support for certain events. The paper details quite a few of these initiatives and their positive effects.
That kind of proactive government support can really make a difference. And Thailand, being part of the ASEAN community, must help too.
Absolutely. Being integrated within ASEAN gives it regional advantages for business tourism, positions it as a natural hub for events pulling people from all over Southeast Asia. The paper notes a rise in regional ASEAN events hosted there.
And all these factors together, they've led to real success stories, lots of big events hosted.
For sure. Thailand has a strong track record hosting prestigious national and international ANSAC events in many different sectors, and it's won numerous awards for excellence in the field. That history builds confidence, reinforces its reputation as a reliable, desirable MUC destination.
So Thailand's clearly built this really solid foundation. Now let's get into the outcomes, the economic impact. What does this sector actually generate for the country?
Yeah, the research paper really hammers this home. The MIC industry is a major contributor to Thailand's economy. It brings in significant direct and indirect benefits. We're talking substantial revenue, widespread job creation in related industries, and it pushes infrastructure development too.
So it's more than just filling hotels. It ripples through the whole economy.
Precisely. And beyond that, the MAC sector helps foster innovation, it attracts foreign investment, and ultimately it makes Thailand more competitive globally. The paper suggests that just hosting these international events boosts trade and investment opportunities down the line.
Can we put some numbers on that impact? Does the paper give specifics?
It does. Just looking at 2017, direct spending by MIC attendees hit an impressive 115.09 billion baht.
Wow, 115 billion.
Yeah, and the estimated total circulation within the Thai economy from that was around 250 billion baht through all the direct and indirect channels.
Those are huge numbers.
Yeah.
Where did that money actually go?
Well, a big chunk, about 157 billion baht, went directly into MIC services themselves. Event organizers, venues, related services. Then attendees spent about another 28 billion baht on personal things during their stay, which benefits local shops, restaurants, communities.
And the number of people attending these MIC events, that's grown dramatically too.
Oh, absolutely. Explosive growth. From around just 20,000 attendees back in 2002 to over 1 million by 2013.
1 million?
Yep, with a particular surge in international conferences and meetings. It really shows Thailand's growing global appeal as a place to host these things.
That's an incredible transformation in just over a decade. Does the paper give specific examples of successful events?
Yes. It mentions that in 2017, Thailand hosted 3 major summits in the Eastern Economic Corridor. They drew about 13,000 international visitors, staying in high-end hotels in Bangkok and Pattaya. And also, the Royal Cliff Hotels Group hosted big events for the Greater Mekong sub-region. Their annual conference, ministerial summit, tourism forum included a huge exhibition showcasing the whole Mekong region.
Those are exactly the kind of high-profile events that really boost a country's MIC reputation.
Yeah.
Now, the paper also looked at some older data from 2007 on revenue and jobs. What did that show?
Right. Back in 2007, Thailand hosted 482 international MBC events, which was actually more than in 2006.
Okay.
These events brought in more international MIC visitors, and their direct spending was over 349 million US dollars. That was about 1.9% of Thailand's total overseas tourism revenue that year.
And where was most of that spending happening?
Interestingly, international conventions, mainly held at the Queen Sirikit National Convention Center in Bangkok, accounted for almost all of it, over 90% of that direct spend.
So conventions were the big driver back then.
Yeah.
What about those incentive trips we talked about? How did they figure in 2007?
Well, there were fewer international incentive trips and campaigns in 2007 compared to the year before, but their direct spending actually more than doubled.
Really? Doubled?
Yeah, which suggests that even if there were fewer, they were maybe higher value, more targeted incentive programs proving really effective. Still a smaller overall share than conventions, but significant growth in spending per event.
Interesting. So a focus on higher impact incentives then. And the overall spending by all MICE participants in 2007.
The estimate was around 24 billion baht. That contributed about 0.5% to total national spending, generated about 1 billion baht in economic output.
And GDP contribution.
Spending by the participants added about 9.4 billion baht to GDP, and then the MICE exhibitors, the company showing their stuff, they contributed another 17.2 billion baht.
So both the attendees and the exhibitors were really boosting the economy.
Exactly. In 2007, you had around 890 MICE exhibitors, spending over 865 million baht just to showcase their products. That activity generated nearly 140 million baht in total output. So yeah, looking back even at 2007, the economic footprint of MICE in Thailand was clearly substantial and, multifaceted.
It's really compelling to see that hard economic data. Okay, but no industry is without its challenges,
Yeah.
right? And there must be opportunities, too.
Yeah.
What does the paper say about the hurdles and the potential growth areas for MICE in Thailand?
Well, it definitely acknowledges challenges. Things like internal political developments can have an impact. And of course, external global crises, the paper mentions SARS, and obviously the more recent pandemic, those led to event cancellations, postponements, big disruptions.
Yeah, those unpredictable events are tough. What about more ongoing issues?
Environmental concerns are flagged as a critical point. Large events can potentially lead to, site degradation, using up resources. So there's a growing, really urgent need for sustainable practices in the MIC sector.
Sustainability. It's becoming crucial everywhere, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so those are challenges. What about the opportunities? Does the paper see potential for more growth?
Despite the hurdles, yeah, the outlook in the paper is pretty optimistic. It highlights lots of opportunities to grow, building on the success Thailand's already had. But it stresses the need for clear policy recommendations, strategic plans to guide that future growth.
And collaboration seems key.
Absolutely. Better collaboration between government, the private sector, local communities, that's seen as essential for making real progress.
So a united, forward-looking approach.
Yeah.
Any specific strategies mentioned to grab these opportunities?
The paper suggests looking into regional promotion strategies, maybe targeting key Asian markets more specifically. Also, revitalizing convention and exhibition facilities in different cities across Thailand, not just the main hubs, to offer more diverse options.
Spreading the benefits.
Right, and it emphasizes staying innovative, developing unique event programs to keep that competitive edge in a really crowded global market.
Innovation and unique experiences sounds vital. Okay, let's circle back to those environmental concerns. The paper goes deeper into sustainability in MICE, right?
Yes, it does. It acknowledges the potential downsides, resource degradation, waste, strain on local infrastructure, but it also highlights that event organizers are increasingly focusing on doing things more sustainably.
So what does that look like in practice? What are the strategies for greener MICE events?
Several key things are mentioned. Better waste minimization and recycling programs, for starters, making venues more energy and water efficient, actively working to cut carbon emissions linked to the event travel, logistics, everything.
And using greener materials.
Exactly. Prioritizing sustainable alternatives in, well, all aspects. Catering, materials, giveaways, you name it. Taking a really holistic view of the event's footprint.
Makes sense, and this probably requires teamwork too.
Definitely. The paper stresses needing strong partnerships with local businesses and suppliers who are also committed to sustainability. Plus, effective communication educating everyone involved. Attendees, exhibitors, sponsors, the local community, getting them all on board with sustainable practices.
Raising awareness, creating shared responsibility. Is this actually happening in Thailand? Are there positive steps being taken?
Yes, the paper indicates there's momentum. Governmental bodies, NGOs, corporations in Thailand are increasingly implementing environmental management strategies specifically for MAC.
Like what? Any examples?
Things like watershed management projects near event locations, certification programs for green events, promoting public transport use for attendees, implementing really thorough waste reduction plans at venues.
That's encouraging. Proactive measures. And are the attendees themselves interested in this?
Seems so. The paper mentions growing interest among attendees in getting training or information on sustainable event practices. So, there's rising awareness about the benefits. And the Thai government is actively promoting green MIC initiatives too, through various programs.
So sustainability isn't just a side issue anymore, it's becoming core, a potential differentiator.
Okay, as we start to wrap up this deep dive, what's the overall takeaway? The future outlook for Thai AMC, according to this research.
Well, in conclusion, the paper really doubles down on the significant contribution MIC makes to Thailand's economy. But it also stresses, the need to keep tackling those challenges we discussed and really foster strong collaboration between everyone involved for future growth.
And looking ahead, it highlights needing more community involvement and maybe diversifying into less conventional business event types to stay competitive.
And adapting to global trends, technology.
Absolutely. The paper talks about the big influence of things like Industry 4.0, digital transformation. These are creating new opportunities for MIC in Thailand. And crucially, it notes the international community still has confidence in Thailand's ability to deliver top-notch MVC events.
So embracing tech shifts is key. Any specific recommendations for keeping Thailand on this upward path?
Yeah, it suggests strategically diversifying what's on offer, developing sustainable tourism projects that kind of complement the MCE sector. It even projects Thailand could become a top 5 MC market in the Asia-Pacific region.
Top 5, wow.
Yeah, if they effectively leverage the digital economy to expand their global reach. Other priorities mentioned are enhancing venue appeal and function and building more resilience against future health crises.
Preparing for the unexpected, basically. And relationships still matter in this business, presumably.
Hugely important. The paper stresses actively building ties with future leaders, key decision makers in the global MIC world. So overall, the outlook is optimistic. Lots of potential for growth, especially if Thailand keeps leveraging tech and adapting to global trends.
Sounds like Thailand is really well placed then, provided the right strategies and teamwork happen. The paper did outline some very specific strategies for boosting Thailand's position even further, didn't it?
Yes, it did. Key things identified include even stronger teamwork between the government and private sector for international marketing, proactively tweaking policies to remove any roadblocks for the MIC sector, and making sure infrastructure investment keeps pace with business demand, just-in-time investment.
Collaboration and smart investment seems fundamental. What else?
Improving transport networks, further bigger airport capacity, better rail links, making the bid teams even sharper to win those big international events, strengthening partnerships with major international MIC organizations, and really taking a lead in areas like green MIC and voluntourism.
Leadership and sustainability and responsible tourism, that could be a real edge. Anything else on the roadmap?
Yep. Upgrading how convention sales and marketing are done, using modern tech and software, really embracing virtual and hybrid events to reach more people, and addressing any skill gaps in the industry through professional development, including, importantly, training on international health and safety protocols to keep attendees feeling safe and confident.
So a really comprehensive plan. Infrastructure, tech, sustainability, people. It covers a lot of ground.
Precisely. The idea is, by carefully implementing these strategies, Thailand can really cement its place as a top-tier MIC destination globally for the foreseeable future.
Well, this has been incredibly insightful, this deep dive into Thailand's MIC industry using this 2025 research. It's really clear Thailand has built something remarkable here. That mix of natural appeal, culture, location, plus, real dedicated effort from government and industry.
Yeah. And as we saw, the economic payoff is huge. Significant revenue, lots of jobs. Of course, there are challenges, global events, sustainability, those need constant work. But the potential for more growth, for innovation, for leadership in the global MEC scene, it's definitely there for Thailand.
It really makes you think, doesn't it, about how this whole MIC industry is evolving everywhere. How will new technologies keep changing how these crucial events are designed and experienced? And how central will sustainability become when organizers and attendees make their choices?
A lot of questions.
Thailand's proactive approach in these areas seems like it will be really pivotal, not just for its own success, but maybe for influencing the global direction too. Thanks so much. This was a fascinating deep dive.
My pleasure. It's been really interesting digging into the details of this dynamic sector in such a compelling place.
And thank you for joining us for this exploration. We hope you'll consider the wider implications of Thailand's MICE success for global business, tourism, economic development. Maybe look further into some of those strategies we touched on, and keep an eye on how this vibrant sector continues to develop. Until our next deep dive.